Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story, those he redeemed from the foe. Greetings. My name is David Wilkinson, and I'm the Executive Director for First Step Pregnancy Clinic, and I want to welcome you to our first virtual banquet for First Step Pregnancy Clinic. We are going to give thanks to the Lord for all that he has done in and through First Step Pregnancy Clinic over the past year, as well as looking forward with hope in anticipation of what God will do in the future. We're going to tell our story. You'll hear from clients, from volunteers, from supporters that all are a part of the First Step family. And I'm going to share with you 3 initiatives or goals for 2021. And I want to thank you for being on this journey with us. But first, let's take a look at what 2020 felt like. Yep, that's what 2020 felt like. Well, our first initiative is the theme of our banquet, and that is to reclaim life. To reclaim life is to redeem it, to take it back, to regain possession of it. The mission of First Step Pregnancy Clinic is to provide compassionate care and practical support to women and men that are facing an unintended pregnancy. And so as we reclaim life, we do that through our primary services. This is our ultrasound room, because we know that ultrasound is critical for a woman to choose life for her baby. We know that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And when a woman sees her baby on that screen and sees that little heart beating, we know that 9 times out of 10, she will choose life for her baby. Here in our counseling room, the client sits here comfortably with her trained client advocate who discusses with her all of her options moving forward. We discuss her option of abortion. We don't recommend or refer for abortion, but we talk about procedures and risks and what she has a right to know. We also talk about adoption as a wonderful, loving, redemptive, life-affirming option for many people. And then thirdly, we'll talk about parenting and what that might look like for her and what her support system might be to help her. So often with these gals who come to us, what they need to know is number 1, that you can do this, and number 2, that we're here to help you. We also have parenting classes that a gal can take, as well as the boyfriend or the husband. And there they can take classes on parenting and childbirth and life skills, which includes financial management and budgeting and job training. And we want to help them become equipped and confident in their role as a new mom or new dad going forward. And by taking these classes, she earns credits, which she can then redeem in our baby boutique. This is our baby boutique. It is full of brand new and practically new clothes that a young mom or a dad can earn. What they do is they watch the parenting class and then they earn these credits and they can redeem that for this clothes. The boys and girls clothes are rotated seasonally by our volunteers and donated from former clients, supporters, and churches. I tell you, the moms and the dads, they just love to shop in our baby boutique. A second way that we can reclaim life is by reclaiming our youth. In 2020, we were all set to launch our sexual health and integrity program, and then COVID hit. Well, we're still positioned and we're ready to launch that program in 2021. We're calling it Apex because it's all about helping students reach their God-given heights of their potential. It's about seeing things from a new perspective. Or you could think of it as this way: Apex is about achieving personal excellence. A second area in which we can reclaim life is in the area of human trafficking. It is an issue that is rampant even in Vermont. And so we want to help prevent trafficking. We want to rescue those women that are caught up in trafficking and restore them to wholeness. This is an issue that will be a focus and a priority for us moving forward in 2021 and beyond.
Initially, my DCF worker had put me and my other half here. Our daughter was in custody and said that we needed to do a parenting class, and she, wanted us to go here. So I said, let's do that. So I was actually kind of worried at first, like, oh, she must sending us to, a rotten place. But I met Wendy, and this place just just working, seeing the videos and doing those little homework things really is so helpful. I mean, I actually go back to the stuff actually all the time, and talking with you and your flexibility really was huge for us. This overall is a great program, I think, and I would tell anybody that, and you're the one who, I don't even want to start tearing out, but you're the one who makes this program work so well, because I was worried about how bad is it going to be, because DCF sent me here and it was the best place I ever could have gone. And I honestly believe that, and Tim and I both still talk about you all the time. That's why, today, just making a little donation of diapers and stuff. And then, that point system, I think, is such a great thing. I remember you telling me that a girl had worked up enough points to get her a height chair. And it was like, that's amazing, I mean, little things like that really help. The little clothes that we got from here and stuff really helped. And we are back home living with our daughter. We got her back May 1st. And everything was stacked against us. And because of you and your program here was one big key part of us getting her home. So I really appreciate that. Tim appreciates that, and so doesn't Brooke. She's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
From the very beginning, I felt very welcomed. Everyone here is really friendly and warm, and I feel like no matter what kind of decision I would have made, it would have been embraced, and I'd recommend that anybody comes here. Really, it's a wonderful place.
Coming here helped me a lot and make me feel not too stressed and scary or worried. I love coming here. I try coming more, and not just for the classes, for talk with you too, Wendy. And yes, I recommend all my friends and everybody coming here. Here is wonderful. First day wonderful. They will help you a lot. And
Our second initiative is to restore life. Vision isn't necessarily about bigger and better or adding service upon service. Sometimes vision is about looking at what God is already doing and then seeing how you can do it even better. I think of it as the 3 E's for how we do ministry. It's about efficiency. How are we efficient with all of our resources? So that's not only includes finances, but that also includes how we use our time, how we use our volunteers. So being efficient with all things. The second E is, are we being effective? Can we do things better? When we think about our marketing, are we using our resources in the best possible way to reach that abortion-minded client? So are we being effective? And the third E is excellence. Are we doing all things with excellence? The Bible tells us that we should do all things as unto the Lord, which means as if He's your boss, because guess what? He is. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our volunteers, a couple, Guy and Carol. They help us do things with excellence because every Wednesday they come to the clinic when no one else is here and they clean the entire clinic. And you don't know how much that means to us to walk into a clinic knowing that everything is clean, the trash is emptied, and the place looks beautiful for our clients. That's about doing things with excellence. Let me share 2 areas where I believe we want to focus on how we can do things even better. Number one is our men's ministry. We've had a mentoring program for men for over a year now, and we've had a few men that have come in and taken some parenting classes with the mom of their baby, but no one has gone through our men's mentoring program called Dad to Dad until last week. We had a young man who was referred to us from another agency, and the agency in town said there's no other program designed to help men be effective dads. And so we put him in touch with you. And so we contacted him, and Wendy, my wife, who is also our client services manager, she called him and told him that we were able to pair him up with a mentor. And his first question was, how much does it cost? And she said, oh, it's absolutely free, because we are supported financially from friends and donors and supporters in the community. And his next question was, when can I get started? See, he's a single dad. He has a 2-year-old boy, and he's a widower. And he admitted that he needed help. And so we're going to pair him up with a seasoned mentor that's been trained, and they're going to meet together, and he's going to help him become a very successful father. Second area is our post-abortion recovery and support program. If it is true, and I believe it is, that 1 in 4 women will experience an abortion in their lifetime, and that statistic is true both inside as well as outside the church, that means there is a lot of walking wounded in our communities. And so we need to reach them. We need to help them break the silence and the shame in order to receive forgiveness and healing. We very lovingly and gently, we accept everybody right where they're at. Doesn't matter what their background is, doesn't matter what their experiences or their past decisions, doesn't matter what they look like or how much money they make or whether or not they're married, none of that matters. We accept them where they are, and then we walk with them through that process of healing and recovery. I want you to hear this story.
Hi, my name is Roxanne, and I've been a volunteer here at the First Step Pregnancy Clinic for a couple of years, I think. I had not really told very many people my story over the course of my life. It was a difficult story, so I didn't share it. But I recently took my eldest granddaughter out to dinner, and with the idea that I was going to share my story with her. And she knew that we were going to be talking about something important. So I told her the circumstances of my story, which was that I had not always been a grandmother. I had once been a younger woman, and when I was in my early 30s, I was divorced, and I had 2 small children, and began a dating relationship which became intimate. And as a result, I became pregnant. And I felt panicky, I felt desperate, I didn't know what to do. I knew I couldn't have this baby, or that was my thinking at the time. I can't have this baby. I can't afford this baby. I can't afford the shame of bringing this baby into the world without a father, because I knew the father and I were not going to be getting married. The father and I talked about it, and we agreed with very little discussion that an abortion was the only answer for us. I went to Planned Parenthood first, and it felt like a warehouse of hopeless women. So I walked out before my name was even called for my appointment. I went to a private physician and had the abortion in a hospital. And that day really is a blur for me. I don't remember much of anything about it, except for one thing, that when I woke up in the recovery room after my sedation, I heard a baby crying. And the first thought I had was, that's my baby crying. What have you done to me? My way of coping was to put all of it in a little package and put it in the back of my mind. I just really couldn't think about it. I didn't want to think about it. Without any urging from anyone, I really dehumanized my baby. because that was the only way I could cope. And that went on for years and years and years. Today, this abortion that I had is over 40 years in my past. And I still am thinking about the son or the daughter whose life I ended because that child was inconvenient to me at the time. I was not a Christian at the time I made that decision. I didn't understand the gospel. But since that time, I have become a Christian, and now I understand all the implications of the gospel. I understand the forgiveness that is inherent in the gospel, and I understand now that that was offered to me. If I may, I'd like to just read 3 verses from Psalm 32 that describes kind of that transition for me. Psalm 32, verse 3, "When I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My strength was sapped as in the heat of summer. Then I acknowledged my sin to you and did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord. And you forgave the guilt of my sin." And when I came to know that, I felt almost physically different, not just emotionally and spiritually different, because I realized over the course of time, as I began to really process what that forgiveness was, that I didn't need to feel guilt any longer. Guilt is a pointless, useless feeling. I did feel convicted, however, which my understanding of conviction is that now I see my sin through the eyes of God. But in seeing my sin through the eyes of God, I now can understand that He loves me enough, that He forgives me for what I've done. I've taken a child from my own life, from my parents, from potential siblings, and yet God still loves me. Romans 2:4 says that the kindness of God is meant to lead us to His forgiveness. And that is so real to me because He never came to me with anger or vengeance. I never felt punishing feelings from God. I just felt Him beckoning me towards Him. I love you. I love you. I don't love your sin, but I've taken care of that. My Son has taken care of that for you. And I know that there are other women and men out in our community now that have suffered as I have, and some in ways that are just truly very traumatic for them over the years. But I want everyone to understand, first of all, when you're out in public, when you're with other people, and even when you're in church, you're going to be in the company of other men and women who have an abortion story of their own. You may not know it. You may not know who they are. They may be your friends now and you don't know it. Among the people listening to me right now, there may be people who have that abortion story and they haven't shared it, or they haven't shared it with someone who really understands it or understands the forgiveness that's open to them. I would hope that you would be able to find someone that you can share your story with. Our plan here at the clinic is that we will be able to offer that kind of support and help to anyone who wants to come and share their abortion story. Sit and talk with us and cry with us and understand that Jesus has paid for your sin and He loves you. I thank all of you for coming this evening and for supporting the First Step Pregnancy Clinic. This is very meaningful to us. Thank you for listening.
The third initiative is to release life. That's not only about an individual freedom for the client, it's also about expanding our outreach. This is a calling for you to join a movement. First Step is a family. First Step is an extension of the church. First Step is also an army. And I'm inviting you to participate. You don't enlist, you've already been drafted. Here's how you can join us. Number one is to be an ambassador. In other words, to speak out on behalf of First Step. Tell your neighbors, your family, your friends, your coworkers about what God is doing at First Step. Because you never know. You may talk to a gal in the afternoon, and that morning she was looking at that pregnancy test and she saw those 2 lines and she doesn't know what to do. So you can be an ambassador and tell her about First Step. Or you may talk to a person who can become a financial supporter because they share our vision and our values. The second thing you can do is to be a healer. I know that hurt people, but I also know that healed people heal the unhealed. If you've experienced abortion or a crisis pregnancy, or you survived any kind of crisis, and I think that includes most of us, then God can use you. And I need you. Our clients need you. Consider volunteering with us and allowing God to use your experiences to bring healing and hope to another person. And thirdly, be a truth teller and an evangelist for the kingdom. Our number one core value is that we will be and will always be a Christ-centered ministry, because we understand that it is only in the gospel that true hope and ultimate change can be experienced. And I want to invite you to join us and become part of this movement.
So my name is Dorcas Clements, and I am on the board of directors here at First Step Pregnancy Clinic. This ministry is so special to me in lots of ways. I moved here 6 years ago, and I saw that there was a pregnancy clinic here in Rutland where we moved, and my heart just immediately wanted to be a part of it. The passion for pregnant women who were single or needed encouragement or support came really strong to my heart when my husband and I had the great blessing to take in children from an unfortunate situation. The mother had passed away and she was a single mom. I was able to get to know her before she passed, and it was just a really special thing to become foster parents for these children and to also help in this way. This past June, I was asked to be on the board of directors, and it was just such an honor to say yes. And I just believe in this ministry with words I can't even speak. I believe that it's so important to the community that we're in. There's a lot of single moms, great need, and I just have a passion for that myself. So to see that this ministry is doing what it's doing, it just warms my soul. And I believe that there's plenty of others out there that would be their hearts would be knocked on to know that this ministry is much needed. And I feel that if that's you and you have a heart for this ministry, that you could just benefit greatly yourself by being a part of donations or volunteering or even eventually being on the board. It's just a true blessing to be a part of this ministry.
Reclaim, restore, release life. That is what we do. That is our goal for 2021. Now, every story, every good story that is, has at least 3 characters. There's the victim, the villain, and then the victor. The story we see today is the victim is the woman who thinks her only option is to have an abortion. The victim is the baby that is conceived through no fault of his own, under different kinds of circumstances. The victim is the man who is told that he has no voice because it's her body, her choice. The victim is the woman who bought the lie that abortion was no big deal. And 30 years later, she still experiences nightmares and depression and a sense of worthlessness. The victim is the 15-year-old who's been caught up in trafficking, who just wants to be loved. The villain is the oppressor, the deceiver, the liar, the foe that we talked about at the beginning of our time together. The villain is the abortionist, the trafficker, the devil himself. But the villain is also us. When we stay silent, when we say we're too busy, or when we've given up. But the hero, that's also us. The one who comes to the rescue of the oppressed, of the victim. The hero is us when we say enough. When we say, not in my family. When we say, not in my community, and not in my church. When we speak up, we step up, we pray, we give, we sacrifice to rescue those women and those babies that are in danger. I know that God is sovereign, that He is all-powerful, but I also know that God limits Himself and invites us into the process so that He can accomplish His purposes through us. We partner with Him. He does His job and we come alongside. He gets the glory and we get the blessing. We get the joy and the significance of being used by God to do amazing things. God provides for us, and then we in turn use those resources to help those in need. And that is what I'm asking you to do tonight, to partner with us at First Step Pregnancy Clinic. There's a couple ways that you can give. I'm going to share with you 2 investments and 3 ways to give. The 2 investments are a one-time gift tonight, and the second way is a monthly pledge or commitment. You know, for $1.49 per day adds up to $44 a month. And with that, we can provide all the medical supplies that we need to doing ultrasounds for $2.63 per day, or $79 per month. That will cover our monthly fee for our curriculum so that all of our clients can watch the parenting videos and take the parenting classes that are unlimited. So I'm asking you to invest today. Whether you can invest one time tonight, and hopefully I'm asking that you would invest on a monthly basis, whether it's $44 a month or $79 a month or whatever it is that you can afford. And you will know that every dollar that you give to First Step Pregnancy Clinic will be used with efficiency, effectiveness, and excellence. And every dollar will go toward helping those women who are victims of abortion and helping those babies that are threatened by abortion. It'll also help those moms and dads become successful, confident parents, and that will in turn save babies, help moms, and strengthen families. And I invite you to join with us. There are 3 ways to give. You can write a check and you can tuck it in that envelope, and you can mail it to us directly. The second way to give is online. You go to our website, it should be scrolling down at the bottom of your screen. Go to www.firststeprutland.com/give/ and you can give safely and securely online, whether it's one time or monthly. And then the third way to give is our text to give. And all you have to do for that is text FSPC to this number. It's 802-392-0111, and that will take you to the giving page. I appreciate your gifts, your investment, and I want you to know that every dollar raised goes toward those women and men in need. So take a minute right now to write that check, and then I will be back to close. But before I do that, I will close in prayer. Father God, we're so grateful for tonight. We're so grateful for who you are, that you are the one who ultimately brings rescue to all of us. We were all lost in sin and darkness and brokenness, and you rescued us. You redeemed us from the hand of the foe, and we are so grateful for that. We are grateful also, Lord, that you partner with us. You allow us to be used by you to bring healing and hope to others, and we're so grateful for that. We're grateful that you provide for all of us so that we in turn can provide for ministries like First Step that reaches out to women and men in need. God, thank you for all the listeners. Thank you for all those that are viewing this program. Thank you for all those who are so generous with their resources to support us. We ask your blessings upon each and every one of them, and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. I'll be back in a minute for a final thought. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I hope that the time was well spent, and I also want to thank you for your investment in First Step Pregnancy Clinic. I want to thank our underwriters, and you can see who they are at the end of this video as well as on our website. I want to thank Jamie Hawley, our cupcake lady, and I want to thank Matthew Rosenberg and Kirsten Terenzini who masterminded our video. And I want to thank iRapture for putting together the production for tonight. And then lastly, I want to thank the board, the staff, and the volunteers who make First Step not just survive, but thrive. So thanks again so much for tuning in. God bless and good night.